This mini French lesson is about the relative pronouns ce qui, ce que, and ce dont. So first let's talk about why we use ce qui, ce que, and ce dont instead of qui, que, and dont. Why is the ce there? Well, there's an easy explanation. It's because we're not referring, when we use these three, we're not referring to specific nouns that have already been mentioned. Okay, so that means you can also think that what we're talking about is a little bit vague since it hasn't been mentioned. D'accord? Let's look at some examples. N'oublie pas, je t'ai dit hier soir. Now, what do you think? Which one do you think you would use here? Take a close look at what comes after the blank. You have je, which is a subject. D'accord? Okay, maybe that was your clue that you needed to use ce que. Ce que. N'oublie pas ce que je t'ai dit hier soir. N'oublie pas ce que je t'ai dit hier soir. Okay? So, ce que is very often pronounced ske, just so you know it. All right, so n'oublie pas ce que je t'ai dit hier soir. And look at ce que. It's acting as a direct object. In English, don't forget what I told you last night. I told you something last night. It answers the question what. It is a direct object, but we don't know exactly what it was. You see what I mean by being a little bit vague? So we're going to go with ce que on this one. Now what about this? Je ne me rappelle pas, on parlait. Now on this one also, look after the blank. What comes after the blank? You have a subject, on. However, we're not going to use que. We can't use que for this one because you have the verb parler in there. I'll explain it to you. Je ne me rappelle pas ce dont on parlait. Je ne me rappelle pas ce dont on parlait. So look down at the bottom and you'll see where I've written on parlait de quelque chose. We were talking about something. Now the de is super important, you know, when you're learning, well, what do I use? Do I use que or do I use dont? If there's a de after the verb, you have to use dont because ce dont is the object of the preposition de. In English, I don't remember what we were talking about. Je ne me rappelle pas ce dont on parlait. D'accord? Let's have a look at this one. Je ne sais pas, c'est passé. So look at what comes after the blank. You have a verb, est. Now, yes, you have a reflexive pronoun before the verb, but that's a reflexive pronoun. It's not a subject pronoun, all right? So you actually have a verb after the blank, which means you need a subject, right? So we're going to use ce qui. Je ne sais pas ce qui s'est passé. Je ne sais pas ce qui s'est passé. Also pronounced, je ne sais pas ce qui s'est passé. Ce qui s'est passé. D'accord? Now, I was talking to you about needing a subject. Well, qui can act as a subject, all right? So when you have a verb coming up next, that's your clue that you're going to use ce qui. D'accord? So I don't know what happened. Now for all of these in English, I've shown you, I've underlined the word what. Notice that ce que means what, ce dont means what, and ce qui means what, right? As they often do, these relative pronouns. Okay, so just follow the link in the description below to this lesson on my blog, or if you're taking my pronouns course, move ahead to the next section and observe the sentence structure charts that I've provided. Go ahead and take a quiz and then tackle your set of practice cards that we'll work on together when we meet up on Zoom. À bientôt!